Yo, 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 what's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to yet again another fantastic indie creator interview. It is your Capes Crusader Cody, and we are keeping it geekly with our new friend Brandon Starocci of Avalon Comic. Did I mess it up? I felt like I felt like.
No, you got it. You got it.
Like,
Yeah.
I said it, and like when it left my lips, I was like, oh my god, hold on, did I get it? Of Avalon Comics, and I am so excited. This has been such a crazy ride diving into it. Thank you so much for the PDF of issue 1. Very excited to break it down with you, man. How are you?
Good. How are you today?
I am doing fantastic. It was a beautiful Sunday. I got to hang out with my kids and get a nice little dad nap in. We had a tree stump. It was a stubborn tree stump, dude. It would only grow weeds, and like I tried to dig it out, and you can't dig out a stump. And like I was like determined. I'm like, you know what? I got like a $20 wood splitter and a sledgehammer, and like I just pounded it out of the ground. It worked.
So you got it.
Yeah.
It's a lot of hard work, though, it sounds like, but there's no way you're doing that easily.
Hey, speaking of hard work, though, let's talk about your project, because there was a whole lot of hard work with this. I mean, this thing was insane. How'd you even get into creating comics?
It's kind of like a weird story, because I'm not a big before I wasn't a big comic guy. I wasn't somebody who would religiously go to the comic store and buy comics and all that stuff. I bought the traditional Batmans and all that stuff. One of my favorite comics still to this day is The Walking Dead. So obviously, with that being said, it has some I use some of that. Man, my head just went fried. But yeah, I love that. I love that Walking Dead and all that stuff. So I met Alan probably a few years ago. So we collaborated on this idea that I had back in high school. He liked it too, so he helped me write it and kind of get it to where it is today and all that stuff. So the original idea was supposed to be a live action movie when I had the idea originally. But obviously that's going to be way too much, and that's going to be a hard road right now. So then we were thinking a novel. But I don't like looking at a bunch of words on page. I'm a visual person, so then there was a Walking Dead comic sitting on my desk, one of the issue 1s and all that stuff. So I always like to just go through them just to look at the pictures and all that stuff. But so then it clicked on me that we should just do the comic book, and then he liked the idea as well, so we just shot for it.
No, I love it. And is that how you guys came up with 1282 Productions?
Yeah, so there's other things as well that come with 1282 Productions that are still in production that aren't public yet, but this is half of 1282 right now. Yes.
That is so awesome. So are you able to talk about any of that that's on the side, or maybe give us any indication of what to expect?
So the only thing I could say right now is we're gonna have that stuff's gonna be out at the end of summer. I can't say what it is or what it's about or anything like that, but we're going to get a release of it at the end of summer, maybe September, October.
Coming close. So
yeah.
With Avalon, this was a post-apocalyptic comic about a family and their survival against this really insane pandemic. And it was really insane. We were talking about it earlier. I just wanted to get confirmation too. It was like a zombie outbreak, and it was very, very horrific. I mean, I thought the buildup was just done like phenomenal. It was a nice like build up to the climax, and it just when things started letting loose, it was insane. What was your guys's? I know you said Walking Dead kind of inspired you, but I mean, what else was some of the influences in this? I think you guys did a really good job building up like that family feeling,
Yeah, a lot of it is coming up from like personal kind of like things and all that, like feelings and bringing my family in and experiences that I've had in my life, but also relating it to situations where I've watched movies like Dawn of the Dead, Walking Dead, 30 Days of Night, I Am Legend, those those big like apocalyptic kind of movies and all that stuff. So, and I always ask my question, I always ask myself the question, like, what would I do in a situation like that? And given my situation with my family and all that stuff, throwing it into the apocalypse, what would happen? And also, every time I watched these movies, I felt like there was always one thing missing, and then that's when it first came to me that I should just make my own kind of deal, because every single movie there's a part that was missing to me that I would like to see in that movie and see those characters go through, but they never hit on it. So I just grabbed all those ideas that I've had and threw it on paper, and then obviously years go by, and here we are today.
No, I like that a lot. Can you give us an example, like from a movie that might have been missing something that you thought might have made it a lot better?
Honestly, probably not, because it's because it was so many years ago where all that stuff was written down on just like regular paper and all that stuff, and it just normal things like themes. It's like like actually here I can give you this right now. Like with issue 1 and how you read issue 1, how you can obviously tell that one of the characters in it is dealing with severe anxiety and most likely takes medication for his anxiety as well. Although like some movies have had similar things, it didn't hit on it the way I wanted them to hit on it. With our story, we're going to really attack mental health. We're going to really attack pre-existing injuries and real life injuries and real life drama and all that stuff that people deal with their family day to day, but obviously elevating it in a story aspect or element way and all that stuff. But those are the kind of the big deals that we're going to show in our book that I felt were that, not that they were missing it in some of those things, they just didn't hit on it as good as I wanted them to hit on it.
So why is that so important to be showcased for you?
I guess it's just like, because that for me it helps me put myself into the protagonist's shoes, you know, and all that stuff as much as possible. And I'm a big advocate on having the main character or main characters really get hit in the face hard with life or whatever situation they're dealing with, because everybody has their own kind of personal thing that they feel like, okay, yeah, I'm really getting hit in the face by life here. It's really beating me down and all that stuff. So it's almost like that sense of like relating to to those kind of characters that are going through in different ways. Like with this is obviously like a zombie apocalypse. We're not dealing with one now, but it's kind of given it that cool story kind of feel to it as well. I think it's easier to relate to characters that are really getting beaten down by life.
No, absolutely. So let's go ahead and start touching base on this. Did you guys have any like troubles or trials and tribulations writing this? Was this like your very first comic co-creating?
Yeah, this is our very first comic. This is actually our very first comic or project that we've worked on together. Alan has worked on other projects in the past, not comic related, but other media outlets in the past. But he kind of applied that, having him go through that kind of experience. He applied that to the comic creating aspect of it, and I had to figure out the desire, or I had the desire to write. So it was a learning process for me. It was important to figure out my own kind of writing style and portray that to the artist that I'm working with now. But we ended up having a good thing. That last year and a half that I've been working with my artist, we've definitely grabbed a good chemistry and gave us both the confidence going forward with this story.
So who's the artist for this? Do you have the same artist for issue 1 as issue 2?
Yes, it is the same artist, but although it is a little different art style, it is the same guy.
Yeah, I was gonna say it looked a little bit different.
Yeah, Demetrius Nastos is he's from Greece. He does the artwork for Avalon issues 1 and 2. I mean, obviously, when you see the pictures from issue 2, and then if you've read issue 1, there are some obvious differences. I was very nervous when he originally hit me with it, because he told me at the end of the production of issue 1, he told me that his art, his drawing got better. He's gotten more ideas and all that stuff, reading the script and all that he wanted to try something new. And I was very nervous because I was a big person on like consistency.
Yeah,
I wanted to be very consistent with writing and art as well, because that was kind of like a little thing that bugged me about The Walking Dead, where the first 6 issues were different artists. I just don't care too much about that, but this new art style that he has is awesome. It is definitely Avalon's art. It brings a whole new kind of like approach to it, and it makes it look a lot more darker and like brutal almost, and horror like, and I love it.
Do you think you guys are going to end up redoing issue 1 in this style?
We actually talked about that about 2 months ago at this point, where we're both on the same page with doing that. I don't know if it's going to happen anytime soon. I'm hoping maybe start production of the new art style for issue 1 at the end of next year or something like that, and make it like a variant kind of like exclusive kind of thing to get. But yeah, it is something that we do want to actually do for sure. Another thing I wanted to hit to is the panel layouts for issue 2. So much better, and like it almost makes it look like cameras moving on the page, or like, because that's my biggest thing is to see that in live action stuff. But he does an awesome job showing it like it's a camera moving, and really captures those moments.
So what does that creative process look like between you and your artist, when you're getting ready to try to give the script idea to the artist and have the artist design that panel for you? What's that process look like?
So basically the way I do it is I got a Google Doc up, and I go from pages 1 through 24. I do a very basic like paragraph of like what the page is going to show, and I do that all the way to 24, and then I'll break it down even further. Like I'll do the panel layout, I'll add the dialogue and all that stuff, and make sure it's all flowing proper, and make sure I'm hitting good things. After I finish that process, I give him the script, and then he reads it as a fan the first time. The second time he reads it as the artist, and then he really starts going over in his head, because we've talked about this before, where he thinks like this would look cool if we did this instead and all that stuff. And with issue 2, he's had a lot more freedom to do stuff. I was very strict with issue 1, and I think it was just like a trust thing, because we had to build that relationship with each other. So with issue 2 and on, and he's currently working on issue 3 right now, drawing wise, but you could just tell that there's a lot more freedom that he has, and he's doing a lot more stuff that's like in his heart. Although I'm giving him what I want, and there's a lot of things that I am kind of still like, I need this to be the way it is, how I have it in the script. But he does do a lot of things. He has a lot of good ideas, and I let him just roll with them.
That give and pull has to be such a hard balance between writer and artist, but sometimes it feels like letting the artist do their thing can really result in a lot of good things. It sounds like you have an artist that's very hungry to help you like achieve this vision. I'm curious though, what does reading it as a fan look like?
It's awesome. It's seeing it on the digital form, and then seeing it in physical form is so much different. And I cannot wait to get issue 2 in physical form, just because. And like I was telling the artist actually a couple months ago when we did our video chat, where I'm always going to hold issue 2 a lot closer to me than issue 1, and that is because that just, to me, it shows how our relationship has grown over the last year and a half. Where the freedom, how this art style, just to me, it speaks Avalon, and it just shows it shows how our relationship has grown over issue 1, because issue 1 was very strict, and I was like, nope, it needs to be this way. No, it needs to be that way. Yeah, we'll do that, but I need this instead. But issue 2, it allowed the artist to breathe, and he's definitely taking advantage of it. He's doing a very, very good job.
No, I love anytime you can kind of have that happen almost in like real time, to see the effects of it almost immediately like that. So can you give us a little bit of a breakdown, like a synopsis of issue 1, and then what we'll do is we'll dive into issue 2's Kickstarter and kind of break down the campaign that you're currently running.
So basically issue 1, you're kind of getting to know these characters and all that stuff. You find out that you're following the Castle family, is what their last name is, and you're the main like find of this story is the 3 brothers and all that stuff. And then you go to figure out in issue 1 that obviously one brother is lacking behind with he's dealing with his own personal problems, his anxieties and all that stuff. And then it sort of sees that Andy hasn't been around a lot, is the main protagonist and all that stuff. So Andy hasn't been around a lot and all that stuff. So you're starting to see this like kind of fractured bond in the making and all that stuff. So and then you meet Andy and his partner Miller, and you see that they go to this house and all that stuff. So then they deal with their own problems there, and that kind of is what opens up. It leaves both families. It's told in 2 separate ways, but it leaves both families in a cliffhanger-ish thing. Issue 2, we pick up on those cliffhangers. We're not leaving those going. It picks up right where those 2 cliffhangers kind of ended in issue 1, and it's a little more action-packed and a little more seriousness is kind of starting to, the train's starting to move for that. So issue 2 is a perfect kind of like sequel to issue 1, is what I'll say. So
I like how you sprinkle in the different like characters in the background talking about how their girlfriend's sick or how a friend's sick. Do people know that everyone's turning into zombies? Like, do they know the full extent of the pandemic, or like what's going on?
So with issue 1, in regards of the people around and all that stuff, they don't know what exactly is going on. It's just a almost like how people did with COVID in real life. It's just like, oh, it's just another thing, but it's kind of like that for them, where it's just like, oh, so-and-so got bit, or, oh, this guy's sick again, whatever. It's not really clicking to them because they're just living normal life. They're at a birthday party, or obviously Andy's not hearing this stuff, but they're at a birthday party. They're not really hearing all those little side conversations. That's more world building for the reader, so they understand what's going on in the background. But no, they don't know it's anything crazy yet until you see what happens.
Okay, yeah. It definitely. I just like I said. I think you guys did a really outstanding job of like planting the seeds in the beginning, and in the climax. The way issue 1 ends is just so insane because, looking at the covers, I was like, okay, this is going to be graphic. This is going to be gory. And for a large chunk of the beginning for issue 1, it was just, it's like family friendly, like, you know, there's a birthday party, and then like right at the end it's like, oh my god, it is definitely not a family friendly comic.
No.
With that being said, though, let's go ahead and transition to the Kickstarter and check out what's going on with issue 2. We are looking at Avalon issue 2, Enter into a New Pandemic, the exciting continuation of Avalon. You are currently at 1,656 of $2,000, 43 backers with 11 days to go. How are you feeling? Like, how's things going for you so far into the Kickstarter?
I'm feeling good, but I just want to hit this goal. You know, I want this to be over. It's definitely a lot of like promotion, trying to get this out there to everybody. It's back to back, trying to get this in front of people. But yeah, we're feeling good. You know, less than $400 away. You know, 11 days.
So how are you dealing with that stress though? Like, what are some of the things you're doing to kind of like not let it overwhelm you?
Just recently, I haven't been like not checking it and like refreshing the page every time I get a second. I've been really trying to just do my part, and then, you know, this last week we've have a lot of things kind of scheduled for this last couple, like 11 days here and all that stuff. So we're really trying to pound it out, and then family, friends, and all that stuff are going to be helping us out here too, coming up here, and so I think we're feeling pretty good about it.
Let's go. That is so awesome. I always love when family and friends like jump in to help the cause too.
Of course.
So let's go down and check this out. So this is a brand new 24 black and white color post-apocalyptic comic that has a little something for everyone. Catch the exciting continuation of Avalon with issue 2. The second issue begins immediately where issue 1 left off, the Castle family. And by the way, is this a nod to Punisher by any chance?
Kinda.
Because I asked because you said The Walking Dead inspired you a little bit, and I know Frank Castle, the dude who plays Frank Castle, the Netflix Punisher, was in The Walking Dead. Yeah. So I wasn't sure. You know,
there's a couple of reasons it's Castle, and I will give you that. One of the reasons is that yes, there's a couple reasons that their last name is Castle.
Okay, all right.
That people will find out. Yes.
So we won't spoil too much, but I was curious, you know what I mean? Wasn't sure if maybe that was too far of a stretch, but it's cool to hear that there was a little nod to it. Yeah, so at the heart of the story is the fractured bond between three brothers that are forced to come back together and rely on each other to survive in the shell of their hometown. Banded together with a group of friends along the way, the Castle brothers discover more about each other and the true nature of themselves that is only revealed when they are forced to face the harsh reality they now face. So it sounds like they are going to be put up against some pretty dark situations.
Yeah, this next issue is going to be very, like, wow. And I'm not just saying that obviously as the creator when I'm trying to pitch it, but it's just like when you see what's coming up here, there's going to be a lot of stuff happening to both sides of the story going forward. And just this small 24-page issue, it's a nice, like mentioned, it's a nice continuation of issue 1. Like issue 1 really built it up to this issue 2, and it's a good, it's going to be very enjoyable.
No, absolutely. This dude is like pulling out his eyeball here. Like this is like insane. Like, because like I said, when we left issue 1, it wasn't very chaotic like this, but it looks like issue 2 is just like hitting the pedal to the floor.
Yeah. In the update section, we did show a couple of those pages done with the color and the blood and all that stuff as well. This is just the inking stage right now. That's the poster that you get with one of the tiers.
Yeah, we can check some of this out. Hold on one second. Let me go ahead. Yeah, right here.
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to make me log in.
Oh, it's going to make you do all that stuff then. That's fine. Yeah, it for anybody that wanted to see it or whatever, all that stuff on the updates.
And speaking of that, here is the link in the chat. Check this out with us. If you're unable to back, feel free to share this on Twitter or Facebook. You might have a friend or family member who might be interested in this. Word of mouth is 100% free, and it's honestly one of the best forms of advertisement out there.
Of course, and we would very much appreciate it.
So let's go ahead. We're going to check out some more of these preview pages. Scroll down, and then we'll go through the tiers as well. Yeah, I love the art style. You could definitely tell he's your artist. I mean, letting him kind of have free range, like. Oh yeah. Just he exploded.
Phenomenal job. He does an awesome job, and I every time I can try and give him credit for it, he does an amazing job for it. He really does. Like the angle, like even the foot, the panel on the foot there of her running right at Andy there. It's such a good angle.
I love the casings too, with the smoke coming off of them.
Yep. All him, by the way. I won't take credit for that. That's all him.
So here is a little bit about the creative team as well. So do you want to go ahead and give us a little bit of a breakdown about this?
Oh yeah, this is just a basic. Sorry, I just saw the Alan part. This is basically just us kind of explaining to you who we are and all that stuff. Just a basic stuff. Just explaining that I'm a big fan of the movie industry, like I was saying before. Quentin Tarantino, if you can't tell, I take a lot of inspiration from him, and yeah, I love all of his work. Honestly, not a lot of it, all of it. I love all of his work. So I take a lot of stuff that Quentin Tarantino has and how he puts the realism of each character into his projects and all that stuff. I really do that. I try to do that as much as I can that he does as well. And then I go on to explain that I love the Walking Dead comic and the show, obviously. And Robert Kirkman, I'm inspired by him as well. Obviously, you can't not be inspired by Robert Kirkman and his work and what he's done in his life and all that stuff. But it just goes on to explain all that.
And then Alan, he loves music.
Yeah, yep. We thought that was kind of like a funny little thing, just to leave it at that.
No, that's good. That's good. What type of music?
He loves all of it. He just I might be mad at me if he sees this, but I don't know. I think he loves all of it. I don't think there's not any kind of music that he doesn't like.
No, I got you. You want to give
Whatever's
out your
just good music.
Your artist a shout out as well?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, Demetrius Nastos. He's the artist for us and all that stuff, and he like how he has written down here. He's loved penciling and doing all that stuff on white piece of paper and all that stuff. He's fallen in love with it.
So this is all done traditionally or digitally?
Digitally. So when he's saying this, when he started down on pencil and paper and all that stuff, and he actually, when you look up to the picture there, I don't even know how he does it. He draws it on a pad now.
Okay.
Yeah, he draws it on a pad now and it goes on there. I don't even know how that all works, but hell, he does a good job with it. I don't even care. Whatever he does, and it's working. So, he loves it, and I'll kind of take everything he kind of has in that little paragraph and kind of relate it to my personal experience from him. And when I found him originally on Instagram is where I found him. Immediately I knew that he was going to be the one when I messaged him, because he just had that fire, he just had that desire, and I knew it right away. He was just a go-getter right away, and I'm so glad to have found him. Just stumble across him and all that stuff. You could just tell just from when you look at his little paragraph there, you could just tell. And especially just from my interactions from him as well, go-getter. He's fire in his belly. He wants to work. He loves working. He loves drawing. He loves art. And every conversation I have with him, that's just that. He loves art and he loves to portray his art as well. And he's getting better and better each and every day.
That's so cool.
He just does a phenomenal job.
And I love that he came up to you guys and wanted to do a completely different take on the art style too. That was really cool. Like that he was like, hey, I've grown a lot and I want to do this in a different way. I think that's really cool.
It was so scary. It was so scary when he first said it to me, but I'm so glad it happened. I really am. Very bold thing, and definitely capitalized on it for sure.
And then, real quick, so why Kickstarter? I know you have it right here, but what's I guess the synopsis of this?
Yeah, it's the simplest way that we found that we can kind of show our stuff off like this. I like the way the format is and all that stuff. It's very nice and all that stuff. How the tiers are all up there. And Alan knew about this before. I don't remember how he knew about it, but he knew about it. I looked into it. Awesome format and all that stuff. So it's a good way. It seems like right now it's gathered a great backing in the last 8 to 10 years. I've talked to other people in the past that they've said it's grown so much, and obviously we only know from this last year how much it's grown. And even that last year, it's grown so much. It has such a strong community of people that really want to help out and really want to push projects through. And obviously, if you're interested in it, but it's such a big platform to kind of show off what you got and all that stuff, and we could do so much and show people what we got on this platform as well. But it's definitely a good tool for us to kind of show off our work. Kind of like that's the way we're looking at it, as it's a tool. We want to use it. It's the best tool that we kind of came across, so we're moving forward with it.
No, absolutely. So let's go ahead and scroll down. So here is a look at issue 1. You can grab the catch-up tier. We'll go through the tiers as well.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's just a good thank you, because
from the last.
Yep.
Gotcha.
The last Kickstarter kind of allowed us to do all these kind of pictures that we're at. Go to these events and,
That's so
and
cool.
say hi to the community and all that stuff, and kind of do our thing. And that last Kickstarter definitely helped, and this Kickstarter is going to help us out and do the same thing and kind of expand our radius. And we thank everybody who donated last time and everybody who donated now as well. It's definitely helping us live our dream. It's
So
definitely something we want to do, and we love it.
We'll go through the tiers real quick. So you can actually get issue 2 PDF for $6, the physical copy for 10, and then you're also going to get for $11 or more. You'll get the variant cover. So that's pretty. I mean, for $1 more, that's a pretty outstanding price for the variant. Well, why go that direction?
So the funny thing is we're only going to be selling the variant, which is cover B. It's the one with Andy and the rip over the eyes.
Mm-hmm.
You're only going to be able to get this on the Kickstarter and at live events. So we just posted that up on our social media that you're not going to be able to get that anywhere else besides the Kickstarter. And if you see us in live, like if we're at like a convention or something like that, that's the only. We're not selling.
That's
it online
cool though. Yeah.
So if you wanted to get it, obviously there's 9 left, and there's another tier down below that you get both of them when that sells out. So it's just if you want it, grab it, because the only way you're gonna be able to get it otherwise is just seeing us in person. So
15 or more, you're going to get the issue 1 and 2 physical copies. So for $5 more, you're going to get issue 1. I think that's an outstanding price. Pledge 20 or more, you're going to get issue 2 plus the cover print. So is that's a print of the first cover?
Yes, that'll be a print of cover A. Yep.
25 or more, you'll get issue 2 and then a poster. So what's is the poster going to be the same as the cover, or is that going to be different?
The poster was in the updates. It's with the 3 brothers on the bottom, and then you can see the Avalon title in the middle. Yeah.
And then
11 by 17 is what it's going to be.
And then 35 or more, you'll get the issue 2 cover and cover print and poster. 40, you'll get issue 2 plus the variant issue 2 cover. And then 65, you're gonna get all in one. So this is everything listed?
Yep.
And then 85 or more, you'll get everything signed. So that's a nice little price too. I always love this. Is this the only way to get it signed?
Yes. The only way to get it signed is it's kind of like the cover B here, or if you see us at live events, we've been doing signatures at live events as well. But if you want to get a signed one and you're nowhere near PA, then this would be your opportunity.
I'm in Ohio. I'm a stone's throw away.
Oh, so there you go. Yep, right in the Erie, PA we are. Yeah.
All right. So this was the Kickstarter right here, retail package. So for any comic store that would be interested in buying your own stock of Avalon issue 2, this is perfect for you. Get yourself 22 comics. So for 22, you get for $100. That is an outstanding price. Holy crap.
Yeah, I thought so too. I was talking to somebody. I can't remember who it was. It was a while back ago, but they're like, "Yeah, get a retail, package in there as well." And I think this is definitely a fair price for what it is.
No, sure. Absolutely. So this is the Kickstarter in its entirety?
Yep,
cool.
That's Kickstarter.
Cool. Let's go ahead. We'll cancel out, and then we'll switch back to our main camera and start wrapping things up. So, what is next for you guys after this fun? Is there an issue 3? Like, how many issues do you guys have planned out?
It's going to be an ongoing series until I run out of ideas, or I just mess it up, and something just flops and all that stuff. But he's currently working on the artwork for issue 3 right now. I have about 8 issues written. I have as many as like 30, 40 ideas in my head right now, or issues, 30, 40 issues in my head. Like I said, it's going to be ongoing. As long as I can come up with ideas, I'm going to keep writing. I have a very basic beginning, middle, end. Obviously, that stuff will get stretched out and fleshed out as as I'm getting to the details of each issue. But until I run out of ideas, you're not gonna see that end coming up.
I love that. We have issues. Heck yeah, guys! I just grabbed the print of issues 1 and 2. Can't wait to see you make your goal. Hell yeah, dude! That's awesome. I always love when we get a live back. We Have Issues is a really awesome podcast as well. Anthony and Steven, they are the creators of Deathless, so they're creators as well over on Twitter. Thank you for stopping by, guys.
Thank you for donating too. That's awesome.
Yeah, that is cool. So, what are you doing outside of this? Any ideas for anything outside of post-apocalyptic comics?
So there are a couple projects I'm working on. I'm working on like a film script, and I do want to do more comic scripts as well. I need to figure out, all that stuff's in like post-production and all that stuff, or not post-production, pre-production and all that stuff. So it's something that I'm kind of working on, but this is kind of like the main focus is Avalon and trying to get this out and trying to get this brand out there as much as possible. All that other stuff will come in time. We're not too worried about pushing out all that other stuff, but this is our main priority.
No, absolutely. So, I mean, with that being said, I think we've came to a good point where we can start wrapping things up. As much as this is an awesome podcast for us to really promote your book and your Kickstarter, it's also a nice little learning tool for anyone that might be new in the area that's watching this. There are a lot of new creators that sometimes swing by. So, with that being said, for anyone that's out there watching and they might be struggling creating their script for the first time, or maybe coming up with an idea, what type of advice would you give them to kind of help them push through that to just get the idea started?
A lot of it, if you have an idea and you want to make this project like come to life and all that stuff, just keep doing it. You're going to go through a lot of troubles. You're going to go through a lot of weird obstacles that you can't even like plan for. You're going to get hit with trucks. You're going to get hit with trains and all that stuff. So life's never going to go your way. Just keep going forward with all this stuff. And if you really have a desire to get this project out, whatever the project might be, just keep moving forward and get it out. Just do whatever you got to do to get it out. It's your life now. It's dedication. It's not going to be easy. You're never going to be able to plan for the obstacles. So just one step at a time. Just keep going and going and going. Just that this is your job. So that would be my advice, is just to keep pushing forward. You could always do more, is what I'm saying.
Are we good? Yeah, my bad. Yeah, this microphone, I'm trying to get better at muting myself, and then it's like such a hard journey because when I hit it, sometimes it doesn't mute because this microphone's like 3 years old and survived hell and high water with me. No, I love that. I think it's definitely, if this is something you want to do, you have to be consistent with it and you have to put the work in. To be a comic writer, you have to write. To be a comic writer, you have to create. So just to get that foot going, I think is the most pivotal part. And I really like that, even just doing it in chunks, and letting those chunks add up, those make an impact as well. Brandon, thank you so much for stopping by, breaking this all down. I had such an awesome time, learning more about your comic with you, man.
Yeah, same here. This is an awesome show to be on. I'm glad to be here.
Thank you. For everyone that's watching, I hope you guys had an awesome Sunday night. We are hitting these every day, so tune in tomorrow. Be sure to hit likes and subscribe and turn on notifications to stay tuned for the next one. Have an awesome night, but most importantly, guys, J. Michael Miller tuning in to say good night, too. Have a good one, Jay. We appreciate you. Have a good night, guys, but most importantly, keep it geekly.